Oh my god, what is this red wire that's disconnected near the negative battery terminal? Why is it unhooked? What is its purpose? Well, today we are going to talk about this red wire. What is it? What does it do? Why is it here? Why is it disconnected? What the fuck, man? Why doesn't the book explain what it's for? Why is it just sitting there like that? This red wire, which comes unhooked from the factory, was designed to go on this stud right here. That's what its purpose is. It's designed to get nailed down onto that stud. This red wire goes underneath the truck to this pin, which it's kind of hard to see on video, but it's basically the pin that's at 1 o'clock. It's really hard to see. Sorry about that. But if you were looking straight on at this, it's the pin that's at 1 o'clock. The purpose of that red wire, when it goes back there to the 7-pin connector, it's meant to charge up an auxiliary battery. Like if you had like a winch on a fucking trailer that had a battery, you could just use that to recharge that battery. Obviously with a little tiny, you can see this thing is only like a little, maybe a 12 gauge wire. Obviously you can't pull any real juice off of that. Since most batteries, they charge it at a rate of about 7 to 10 amps. That's perfect considering it's a 12 gauge lead running, I don't know, 16 feet, back to that connector and then through the battery or whatever. But let's take a closer look at this thing right here. So what you have here is, you have a wire that comes off of the battery positive that goes into this fuse block. And this fuse right here, called fuse number 32, it just says trailer 30 amp. So what you really have here, if you're never going to use this thing for, charging an auxiliary battery on a trailer or some shit, what you actually have here is a stud that you can tap to power some low current devices, which is pretty awesome. The reason why that thing is a great source of 12 volt power is because these little dinky factory battery terminals, they're not made to accommodate any extra leads. So if you just took a regular eyelet and put that there, this is going to have a hard time tightening up all the way. And it can actually lead to weird intermittent electrical problems. The alternative to that would be to get one of these aftermarket terminals. So you would just take off your little shitster factory terminal and you would screw in this big motherfucker right here. And then it has this little piggyback bolt, and then you can just put your eyelet on there and then tighten it down. And you can see that's what I've got going on with this thing, because I've got a bigger upgraded alternator power wire, and I've got two huge 1-aught runs back to the back batteries in my truck. If you think about it, if you were just going to add a low current device to this truck, you know what I'm saying? If you went off the battery positive, you'd have to get another terminal, you'd have to get an inline fuse holder and all that shit and find a place to mount it and all that. You've kind of already got that right here if you're not using that little red wire hookup. So I think this is a M6 with a 1.0 pitched nut. So what I've got on mine is I've got a fused lead. This comes down here and this powers this auxiliary fuse panel I installed in here. My truck's got a ton of aftermarket electronics in there. And that was, the perfect source of power. I've got a few accessories under here. So I've got like a relay for the HID lows, HID fogs, under hood lights. I don't know if you guys noticed this. I haven't really done a video for them yet, but I've got dual OEM under hood lights that have been converted to LEDs. The reason that I use this panel is instead of having like 6 eyelets and 6 wires kind of clusterfucked on here, it's just one nice wire, clean, everything's cool. You can't hook up your Rockford Fosgate 2501 BDCP to it, you know what I'm saying? But if you had like a HID relay or something you needed to source power to, you know what I'm saying? It's a good source of 12 volt power. So anyway, I hope this clears up this thing about this red wire, you know what I mean? Personally, I think that this video is kind of a cheap shot to take. But what I noticed is a lot of people are still posting about this on Trailboy. Trailboy still has the most indexed hits on that red wire search phrase, so figure I'll tell you guys what it does, tell you guys where to go, gmtnation.com, you know what I mean? So I hope you guys can find this useful. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe.